Hello! Today we will learn about the risks of access to the internet, what is antivirus, types of viruses, computer crimes, and so on. The massive penetration of computers into public life also creates prerequisites for increasing computer crimes. Some users are abusing the opportunities provided by the new technologies. There is a distinct group of people, some of whom are very good programmers, who use their knowledge to steal information. They are known as hackers. Hackers are not malicious, but in their view, access to the software and data should not be restricted. Computer crime is any crime that uses computer systems. Examples of these are penetrations into computers and their damage, fraud and theft of hardware and software, computer data falsifications, crimes against the person for whom computer systems are used. Major punishments against computer crimes are imprisonment and fine. The punishment depends on the specific attack and various circumstances, mitigating or aggravating the guilt. Viruses. A computer virus is a program, executable code, designed to cause damage to the hardware or software that can create its own, sometimes modified copies. To survive and multiply, the virus must be attached to another program. Viruses spread across computers through all known ways of transmitting information, most often infecting through diskettes or computer networks. Viruses are created by malicious users, usually programmers called crackers. Types of viruses. The virus is an executable code that self-enters in the program by modifying to execute this code or being saved in the boot sectors of the floppy disk or hard drive to execute it. In this way, the damage for which it is created is activated and applied. There is a huge variety of viruses, and among the best famous types are boot sector virus. Copies itself to the boot sector on the floppy disk or hard drive, and the system files on the disk are moved to another location. The boot sector contains a small program that is the first part of the operating system and through which the computer starts the rest of the operating system. When attempting to load from the disk, the virus starts and it attacks on its own. Master boot record (MBR) virus. Similar to the boot sector virus, but does not copy the system files, mixes them and modifies them to take the virus as part of them. This makes the virus impossible to remove. Stealth virus causes the most damage and remains resident in RAM memory. This type of virus has special masking techniques. The sectors on the disk where the original of the virus is recorded are marked as mechanically damaged and the antivirus program cannot detect it. Resident virus. By operating the operating system or BIOS, this virus installs a resident in the RAM and remains active until the computer shuts down. It can multiply and damage files and entire programs and disturb the operation of the computer. Logical virus. Activated under certain conditions. In addition to multiple damages, it causes logical errors during work. Time bomb virus has a specific activation date. Upon earlier entry, the computer replicates without causing damage. On the specified date, the virus is activated. BIOS virus. Self-login in BIOS and booting before booting the operating system. This virus changes the BIOS and can control all hardware and software. Hardware virus. Hinders hardware performance, simulates hardware problems and does not allow working with separate hardware components. Reproductive virus. Propagates without causing damage. Trojan horse. A program hidden in another program. While the main program performs its actions, the virus creates relevant problems. Worm. A standalone program that has the ability to copy from one computer to another. The computer network is most commonly used for this purpose, and the worm is capable of clogging it. The worm does not cause direct damage to the infected computer. Joke program. It is not a virus. It spreads like viruses. It does not damage but causes foolish jokes and messages. Basic ways to protect against unauthorized access. Username and password, firewall, specialized software, antivirus protection. Antivirus protection. The antivirus program is software that recognizes portions of the virus code and destroys the virus if it detects them. For virus protection, the following is recommended. Install a good antivirus program. Periodically update the antivirus program. Control access to your computer. Do not use suspicious diskettes. Check the virus software before use. Make backup copies of the data, which will enable them to be restored if necessary. Among the most common and recommended antivirus programs are Symantec Antivirus, Kaspersky Antivirus, Fprod Antivirus, F-Secure Antivirus, Not32, Panda Antivirus Platinum, AVG Antivirus, etc. In general, antivirus programs offer the following options. Auto protection. Select the type of files to be scanned, all files. Check the performance of hardware elements, the ability to scan a diskette or a selected partition from the hard drive, displaying a message when detecting a viral infection, clean virus from file to a detected virus, in case of unsuccessful disinfection, quarantining, delete the infected files, etc. Firewall role. Limits unauthorized access by dynamically filtering attempts to access the system via the computer network. As a result, it detects and warns of real-time attacks. Restricts programs running on your computer, sends information or harmful software viruses to other computers in the event of a computer virus infection. How to prevent infection with computer viruses and other malware. Choose a reliable long password. Do not visit suspicious sites. Sites with pirated content usually contain malicious programs. Always treat seriously when someone requires personal information from you. Email asking you to confirm a password. This type of a fraud is called phishing. There is a new method of phishing fraud, farming. When the victim writes a web address to his or her web browser, a fake website will be opened instead of a website that is a copy of the original.